Okay, there's a couple of things I want to show you about setting up the camera. And the first thing is we're going to use a selfie stick to steady the phone when we're shooting. So it's good to have a reasonably good quality selfie stick with a secure way of attaching the phone. And by doing that, it means that your hands are more or less much freer because you can do everything with one hand rather than two. So I'm just going to adjust this like this. So the selfie stick allows us to steady the phone in a way that would otherwise be quite difficult with two hands. Let's go into the camera settings now. Now in the camera settings we have up in the left hand corner the little gear, and you can click on picture size. Try to make your picture size 16:9 because that's the same aspect ratio that you're going to use when you're shooting footage. The video size here, I'm shooting full HD, full high definition at 60 frames per second. You can choose, of course, just full HD or 60 frames per second, depending on the capacity of your phone. The other thing here is tracking autofocus. Now, this is very useful when you're conducting an interview. Let's go back into the camera and I'll just click on an area, and you'll see now that actually the focus is following that thing that I touched with my finger. So that part of the camera, the frame, is always going to be in focus. And this is very useful if you're conducting an interview with somebody and they are moving their head, because it means that they will always be in focus. So tracking autofocus is very useful when you're conducting an interview. Otherwise, it's not necessary. It can get in the way. So generally, I have it turned off. There are other settings here like shape correction and picture size in the front of the camera, and the picture size in the front of the camera, video size. So that's more or less the only settings which we need to establish before we start to shoot.